What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to another episode of the Chatting with Cheese podcast. I'm your host, Fat Cheese, and y'all already know the motto, no gimmicks, only the real. And as y'all can see, I'm in another location, so y'all already know what bag I'm in. This man I got here with me today, joining me on my platform, some may say he's the most decorated high school head football coach in the state of Virginia. I mean, to me, if you look at this resume, which is crazy, I would give him that. But I mean, the things that he's accomplished, man, I'm gonna just give y'all a rundown of all the things that he's done. 5-time district coach of the year, 3-time region coach of the year, 2-time Washington Post All-Met coach of the year, 2-time Virginia State coach of the year, and also Prince William County Human Rights Commission Award. So I'm gonna let y'all, and there's plenty more where that came from, but I'm gonna let y'all determine what y'all think of him after that. And now he's here at the St. James Academy trying to turn this into a powerhouse. I have the honor and privilege of welcoming on my platform today, head coach Darryl Overton.
Man, appreciate you.
Yes,
look,
sir.
That's one of the best bringouts I had in a minute.
Absolutely.
That's one of the best.
I got to give you your flowers, man. First of all, I just want to say that I appreciate you for taking time out of your busy schedule to come on my platform, man. It's been an honor just talking to you, but seeing this facility, I was telling you off camera, like, since I've been doing this is probably one of the best facilities that I've seen. You know what I'm saying? Just the basketball court, the football field, just everything. So just talk to me about, first of all, how does it feel to just walk into something like this and this is your office every day?
Well, it feels great, and like you said, it's very motivating, right? Mm-hmm. Even me as an old man, I'm like, I need to get in shape. Like, you walk here every day, you walk past all that equipment every day, you don't do nothing. So it's motivating just for me as an individual, but it's pertaining to athletes, like you said. Mm-hmm. I come from public school, right? So I'm used to doing more with less, and this place just reminds you how much more there is to give young athletes, young people, right? Stuff that I didn't have, you didn't have. Absolutely. Coming up. So it's motivating and inspiring. I try to use it as that every day.
Absolutely. So I did my introduction, but for the people who may not be familiar with you, introduce yourself and let them know a little bit about who you are.
Sure, man. Coach Darryl Overton, like you said, this would be only year 12 for me as a head coach. Mm-hmm. I was an assistant coach before that. I think last year I got to 106 wins, right, and 11 seasons, and one of them being a COVID year, which was pretty short. Mm-hmm. Like you said, most proud of, I got it on me today. Not only have I coached high school, but I own a youth organization, Playmakers Elite.
Absolutely.
Even now here at the St. James, our grassroots program, where we have a lot of youth programs, mm-hmm. not just Playmakers Elite, NWO, the Unit, DMV Prime, a lot. Virginia Seahawks all the way in Virginia Beach, the Renegade Boys. So, about myself, I love ball, but I'm a transformational person, right? Absolutely. And my background is that.
Mm-hmm. So how did you first get introduced to football growing up? And was it something you fell in love with right away?
I believe so. I started playing ankle biter football for Bradley Road Youth Club.
Yeah.
My dad and my grandma, Joan Overton, got me into it. And I played, and, back then it was weighted. So you had to play based on your weight, stuff like that, right? And then by the time, I got to 5th grade, 6th grade, I think it was clear he's pretty good at this. Mm-hmm. I think I always loved the game, but I knew I was going to be a coach because I was the person organizing the kids in the neighborhood to play against the other kids. We had plays. I remember spray painting on the fence where we used to play on the field, the 40, the 50. So that part I feel was always there, So I definitely fell in love with the game. And then I fell in love, with young people. That's my gift.
Absolutely.
I'm transformational with young people. So the two together, like you said, God, this is what you're going to do.
Absolutely.
Even though I thought I was going to play forever. He was like, no, come on back. You're going to do this. You keep trying to play, but you're going to do this.
So what would you say you liked playing the most when you was playing offensive side, defensive side of the ball?
Ooh, I had the blessing all the way through college. My sophomore year, I played quarterback and DB.
Okay.
But it's something about having that football in your hand, right? You know what I mean? Like I was a defense first guy, but ain't nothing like having that football in your hand. So even when I played, arena football for Messiah, I went back to offense, and it's hard giving up that football.
I'm telling you,
no matter what. So I would say, offense at heart.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. Your stature, I wouldn't have thought quarterback. Oh. If you would have said like linebacker, something like that, I would have said, okay, I see that. I got that.
Well, as I said, I need to work on my stature. This wasn't always my stature. This was my coach's stature, so absolutely.
Yeah. So when did you realize football was something you wanted to be involved with long term, whether that was playing, coaching, or like you spoke on, mentoring kids?
I think that was always the case from, honestly, day one. Like, I had my whole family, my little brother, all of us played. Everybody went to college and played. My brother Howard played in the NFL 8 years. We were that last of that. Your parents didn't give you no choice. Like, you was playing. Like, you was doing something. I knew football, I was going to be married to the game forever because, like you said, I played it. You know what I mean? I even played semi-pro, right? Where people try to call 37U now, but to play that, you have to love
absolutely 100%.
The game. Like, there's nothing else coming out of that but you loving the game. And so just take that love and sprinkle it in. And along the way, I've met people at different walks in life that's all here with me now, right? Whether even that's being Messiah. I met him in 2009, something totally different. My coaching staff, I met all of them at different, steps in this journey to put this together.
Yeah. So was there, even though football was kind of like life for you, like you just spoke on, was there like any other things you like to do other than play football, basketball, things like that?
I love basketball too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so I even coach girls AAU. I coach at my high school, Freedom. I coached, and we won the only girls district championship in any sport in the school history. So basketball still it got a big place in my heart, no matter what.
Absolutely. So I like to talk about community, and I like to talk about, I like to talk about people's upbringing, because I think a lot of the times people get too caught up on just focusing on the football side. I like to get that side, but also the human side as well. So how did your upbringing and the communities you came from help shape the man and coach you are today?
I tell everybody, I know I'm a transformational coach because my background was youth, right? I started being a youth football coach. Rest in peace, Coach Cecil Campbell, right? I coached with him, and he was my youth coach. He was the one picking me and my brother up, taking us to practice. Then I paid it forward, was coaching with him. And so things that make some coaches, high school coaches, nervous, like I have no problem talking to parents.
Absolutely.
I'm used to it, right? Because when you coaching youth, you can't duck no parents.
Got to talk to
them. As soon as you walk off that field, they're like, excuse me, right? And games. So you always got to be authentic.
Yeah.
Right? So that's blessed me to where now I'm here and I'm authentic.
Right.
And you get people to believe in you when you're that. Absolutely. I've never had to hide behind a desk and fake to be somebody I'm not. And then in person, somebody totally different. So it was instrumental in that. And not just, from coaching, but dealing with kids too.
Absolutely.
Right? Like I care about kids' experience. I care that you like being here. That's important to me.
Yeah, for sure.
I want you to enjoy being here at the St. James, being around me. Right? If you don't, that bothers me.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So, and I know all that comes from having a youth background.
Right.
All right. Now, again, every youth coach can't coach high school football, so I had to pay it forward and get in them X and O's. And I was blessed to be able to coach under Hall of Fame Coach Bill Brown with his son John Brown, Coach Robinette. Again, people make jokes, but semi-pro, right?
Right.
I was very good and played against a lot of great talent.
Right.
A lot of the stuff that I done offensively, I started it in semi-pro, playing. And then I just built on it.
Exactly.
So all those things have made me pretty well-rounded, right? And as you would say, God was armoring me with everything I was going to need. I feel like for this level, this stage, moving forward. A lot of my relationships whether it's parents, kids, coaches I know, come from all of these things. So, my upbringing, being the oldest of 6 as well, right? You teaches you selflessness,
Absolutely.
right? You got to worry about everybody else, not yourself. So no matter what, that's what I do.
Yeah.
Make sure my coaches are all right, players are all right, parents. So all those things, kind of made me into the coach that I am, right? As far as being impactful. Football is football. I feel like that's the easy part.
Absolutely, yeah. Now I'm with you. I'm the oldest of 4.
Yep.
So we got that in common. But yeah, everything you said is the truth, man. I mean, just you could tell everybody doesn't deal with everything the same. And just by you saying like the coaches that you were under, and like you said with the 37U or the semi, you gotta actually love the game. You can't just be going out there, because there's people out there, like you said, they don't get no benefit from it.
Nothing.
So I'm glad that you brought that up as well too. So let me ask you a question. Do you feel like the coaches that you came up under, let's say Little League or semi, do you feel like you took some of those from them and use it in the strategies and the way you coach now?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Even if I don't take something directly from them, it shaped me and molded me, like, because I learned whether to do something or not to.
Right.
And one of the most instrumental pieces I say is when I was a defensive coordinator for Coach Brown at Colonial Forge. Shout out Coach Brown, Coach Jeff Berry. The most valuable thing in that, I was learning football, but we shared an office like this because we both work security.
Absolutely.
So I had never been a head coach, but for 6 years, I got to sit in the office every day and listen to a head coach conversation with parents, college coaches, fundraising vendors, his interactions with teachers. So all that stuff was, instrumental as far as building the coach, right, off the field. Then, like you said, semi-pro, right? And, people try to put a negative connotation on it, but when I played it, you played against a lot of good people, 100%. NFL players. So stuff that I liked offensively, I'm like, okay, if this can work versus, what's my man that played defensive end for the Colts? He played opposite Freeney and Mathis.
I was just going to
right? But he was the one that rotated in.
Okay.
We played against him.
Yeah.
Right? And if it can work versus him, this might be a decent play.
Absolutely.
Right?
100%.
So the semi-pro world that I got to play in really added to my psyche, my football knowledge, and how I viewed the game. And then, it gives you valuable lessons. Because, I was standing back there catching the snap. Like, all right, hold on, that really don't work. Right? Like, that really don't work.
Because you'll find out firsthand.
It really don't work. It's not like I was sacrificing somebody else. I was out there trying to do
it.
Right?
Exactly.
So then we talk about the leadership piece. I'll tell people playing semi-pro, to be a leader of men, you got to be respected.
Absolutely.
Right? And even in NFL, right, everybody's a professional, but everybody's locker room not the same because you don't have that level of respect.
Absolutely.
So, being able to lead grown men, and it's not because I was a first round pick or because I'm getting paid the most, but because I genuinely was authentic and earned their respect. I feel like that played a major part in the coach that I am.
100%.
Being a leader of men who have to worry about their families, their job every day, and me being able to get them to follow me, whether it was the Hampton Road Redskins, DV Elite, Capital City Seahawks, Prince William Monarchs, that I feel like that played a huge role in my leadership ability. So again, I pay homage to all that. And then, I feel like in an era where, if you're noticing, a lot of public school, people are scared to be transformational.
100%.
Like, think about counselors now, all they do is schedules.
Right.
You can't go talk to your counselor, hey, this is going on.
Nope.
Because they're scared to speak up because parents and kids, they said, well, the counselor told me this.
Right.
So and then nobody supported the counselor.
So you saying that they scared to talk to the student or the parent?
The student.
The student,
right?
Okay.
Like, at both public schools I was at, I loved that I was the person, the principal, the counselors would call down to the office and say, hey, you need to talk to this man.
Right.
This young man, he acting up at home.
Absolutely.
And then I can give you the real.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your grandparents under the impression you come in here every day bettering yourself.
Mm-hmm.
They took you from your parents, and you come here, you're not doing nothing. Go home and tell them that you're not doing nothing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Where public school people are scared to have those conversations because people at the top haven't supported
Bingo.
teachers and stuff, right? Where
And it cuts down on them.
I ain't scared to do that.
Right.
Right? Like, so I'm going to tell you, yo, your parents called me. They saying you ain't coming home at night? Like, we going to have that talk.
Absolutely.
Right? But again, public school don't always support you in that.
Right. I get what you're saying.
So, I mean, you know, being transformational, I learned that, you know, through Coach Cecil Campbell.
Mm-hmm.
You can't be genuine and be there for young people fully if you're worried about what somebody gonna say or think.
Absolutely.
And I love being in this atmosphere to do that and have support no matter what.
Yeah, that's
not
dope.
that I did it at other places, but it was kind of like, all right, come here and talk to him. I'm getting out.
Yeah, no, we gonna come in here and everybody's gonna talk. It's like creating that village, creating that safe space, but at the same time, also you being able to tell them what they need to hear.
Absolutely.
And everybody is in agreement. It's not just, okay, well, I'm gonna go home and parents. Now you gotta worry about the parents calling, asking what's going on. So I 100% agree with that. And for all the parents out there, sometimes, you know, you gotta let people sometimes parent your kids a little bit. You know, everybody's not out to be malicious or things like that. So I'm glad that you brought that up. Also saying you ain't ducking talking to no parents.
No.
Because I got some people in my phone that got kids that play for. I'm about to go up here and say something to the coach. I'm like, nah, you can't always do that. So I understand what you're saying, man. And so where did your passion for coaching and mentoring young men come from?
Like you said, I think we touched on you kid nailed it. It's come from being the oldest sibling. You weren't the one that, you know, you said it. You didn't get all the babying that the other ones got, right? You were young, making hamburger help of everybody, trying to, asking why you ripped the box like that. Now I don't know what to do. So it came from that in my household. My mom, Tawana Jones, you know, she demanded me be a leader very early. Probably, you know, when it hurt her to make me have to be in that position sometime. But it definitely, you know, made me more accountable, right, to all things. And then, like you said, playing for Coach Cecil Campbell, he was my coach, but he lived 8 houses up the street from me. Like being able to be accessible to my coach at all times.
That's great, yeah.
Going to his cookouts, you know, showed me a side of a coach that, you know, I probably wouldn't have seen.
Absolutely.
Because my coach lived 8 houses up the street.
Yeah.
And his son called me, his cousin. They invited me to all family cookout, me and all my brothers. He coached every one of my brothers.
Yeah.
Right? And there's 4 of us. So I would say those 2 things as far as the coach. And then, like I said, the X and O's, you know, Coach Robinette, Coach Brown, my OC, Coach Chris Davis, Sean Penn, they all played a major part in my offensive philosophy and defense.
Let me ask you a question, right? And we going a little off, but I'm enjoying the conversation. So do you think in today's football scene, like youth and growing, do you feel like things have took a dramatic change? Because I remember growing up in the era where when my friends played football, I'm seeing their coaches come pick them up in the van and take them to the field. Do you feel like things have shifted from that? Because it sounds like you kind of came up in that same kind of way.
I think that still happens considering I run the youth.
Okay.
It still happens on a daily, right? It still happens on a daily. But the difference is it's been times that something has happened and parents have took advantage of coaches or something happened where the coach didn't feel supported.
Yeah.
At the youth level, it still happens.
Okay.
I know that for a fact because, like you said, we got a whole grassroots program.
Absolutely. 100%.
I just think people don't value that as much.
Yeah.
Parents don't.
Okay.
Having a coach that's willing to do that, I just think, unfortunately, the youth coach has lost value because social media.
Absolutely.
People are like, oh, well, you ain't got the kids out there doing that.
Yeah.
You ain't a good coach. Right? So I think I think that plays a bigger part more so than it's not happening because coaches are still doing that.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to ask. I had to bring that. So, how did the opportunity to become the head coach at St. James Academy come about, and what was it about the opportunity that really intrigued you?
Honestly, like you said, God is working. So I went through the whole ordeal at Hayfield where they were upset. They felt like we recruited people. They did an investigation. And truthfully, out of that investigation, a very high up person that had, knowledge of it said, hey, reached out to the owners here like, hey, I've been a part of this and this guy hasn't done nothing wrong. Mm-hmm. He just special. He got a following. I had one conversation, one meeting, and then they brought me back for like a second meeting type interview. Mm-hmm. And I told them, give me 2 weeks and I'll have a plan for this.
Yeah.
And I came back with my own made up shirt, sample uniform, helmet with a decal. I had everything. I had a brochure, had a commercial.
Oh, man.
And, so I came prepared and I felt like, I wanted this job because of the opportunity.
Yeah.
Like to build something that's your own.
Right.
And if you really look back, I did the same thing at Freedom. I took over Freedom. They never won more than 4 games before I took over, right? We never lost more than 4 after our second year, right? So I've never been scared to take that step.
Yeah.
So the situation actually came out of a negative, turned into a positive, and I ran with it.
Yeah. Did you know anything about St. James before them reaching out to you or anything like that?
Well, life full circle.
Yeah.
When it was first opening, before the building was built, they had a trailer out front. Mm-hmm. And me and my grandmother, Joan Overton, who helped me run my youth organization, we met with the guy at the time that was running football. Mm-hmm. We want to be the football program for the St. James.
Yeah.
And at the time, the guy was like, hey, everybody got to be a member. And we like, hey, we can't charge people $200 membership and turn around and charge them to play football.
Absolutely.
That's a lot on families.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're not going to rent the field to anybody. We're not doing that. Full circle, all that changed.
Yeah.
So, so honestly, like you said, yep, absolutely.
So you had a lot of success coaching at public schools. Was it difficult making the transition to an academy where things are run a little differently, or did the adjustment just run perfectly?
Nothing just runs perfectly, right? We had hiccups. We had things we had to learn from. Good news is I have, my boss, Ms. Elise, Dr. Today, our principal, they support stuff, right? They supported me and all our programs. Like we had to change academic platforms to a better one, right? Then we changed, basically our curriculum stuff so that it more lined up with all the NCAA stuff, all the eligibility stuff. So there was always things you got to change and fix. The good news is none of them were football related.
Okay.
They were all school related, right?
Good.
We had a homecoming here. That's a big deal.
Right.
Spirit Week, all that stuff, right? We had a graduation in December for our 15 athletes that graduated because I know that's important to parents.
100%.
To see their kids walk across that stage. So those things we had to work on, things that you take for granted. When you have gaps of time where the kids are in between a workout and eating, you want to eliminate that free time, right?
Right.
So stuff like that, you got to figure it out. But other than that, like you said, all the learning pains and growing pains were non-football related for the most part.
How would you say your off season has been? Is the off season different from public school to now?
No, but what is different is we get to wear pads in the spring.
Okay.
Right? So that part, in last year, we didn't even have an off season. So as good as the season we had last year, we didn't have one. I was hired in March.
Right.
I still worked at Hayfield all the way through June.
Okay.
We had no off season.
And you had to basically hit the ground running.
That's it.
Yeah.
Literally. Yeah, so I had to hit the ground running like you said, but I made my schedule before I knew anybody that was going to be on my team last year.
Right.
So in that regards, like you said, we've been blessed to have an off season. And what I will say, public school, private school, off season wise, the problem with public school is every county got its own rules. Like Fairfax, you only get a certain amount of off season days.
Okay.
Prince William, Virginia Beach, Richmond, you get unlimited. You just can't put on shoulder pads.
Got you.
So it differs place to place, but the preparation didn't change because I came to the St. James. We were successful at the public schools because we were preparing
100%.
You know what I mean? So that it's not like we came here and was like, all right, let's work harder.
Nah.
We've been working hard. We've been working hard no matter what.
That's dope. So in your first season as head coach and St. James' first season having a football program, you guys went 8-1 and finished as the #1 ranked school in Virginia. Take me through what that felt like. Was that something you expected going in, or did even you have to take a step back and say, wow, we really did this?
Well, I was prepared to be successful, right? You never know. That's the coaching you, right? You feel like you go through camp and scrimmage, you're like, are we good?
Yeah.
You're like, are we really this? Like, are we good? Like, you don't know until you get across from somebody else that's good. So I think the point for us was we beat Puerto Rico, which we should, right? And we beat them pretty bad. So you're like, well, Puerto Rico team, they played IMG's second team.
Yeah.
It looked like football. But when we played them, it didn't. It was just like, you know what I mean? So you're like, all right, we good. Then we come back. We had another opponent that really wasn't as strong. And then we go to good counsel.
Bingo.
And this supposed to be the test. No way y'all going to be good counsel your first year.
Smoke them.
Yep. So that kind of like told everybody, hold up, watch out. These people can play a little bit. And then you follow that up with going to Florida and beating TFA, who, was ranked 49th in the country. They played St. Francis, IMG, us. They played all the smoke last year, right?
Absolutely.
And they were talented top to bottom. The team I think people slept on that was pretty good as well was Clarkson North, the Canada team. Right? They beat Pennsylvania state champ. They beat another state champ, and we scored 70 on them. So it was like, all right, we're going to be all right. We're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We okay.
Absolutely.
Right? We're going to be pretty daggone good. So, we kind of was peaking at the right time. No matter the opponent, we were looking pretty consistently good.
Absolutely.
Right? TFA humbled us. I probably learned. I tried to travel. We left Thursday.
Yeah.
No, we left Friday morning.
And played the same day.
And played Friday night. So I learned a lesson. Like, you can't do that. Because we didn't wake up to the second half.
Yeah.
Right? So I learned that lesson. Then, like you said, you make it through your season. And, you at the end, you got St. Francis on the biggest stage you could be on. And even that game, right, we felt good about playing them. We knew they were good, but I felt it was important that we didn't let them start fast.
Absolutely.
We had to match their energy early, and we didn't. So they jumped on us, right? And it's always hard to fight back uphill when they get all the momentum. So, that was the only low. But like I tell people, I think we did things right because if everybody is measuring us to that game, like everybody's here, they're like, y'all gonna have a good year? I'm like, yeah, we had a good year last year. You gonna beat St. Francis?
Yeah.
That's the plan. We plan on it, right? Like, why is that defining my season? But that's not defining nobody else's season.
And I'm gonna tell you, right? Because that's how St. James first got on my radar. Because I just kept hearing people say, yeah, St. Francis is good, but St. James is, and I'm like, I keep hearing everybody. I'm like, let me do my due diligence on St. James. But you're right, though. That shouldn't be the measuring stick.
Right.
It shouldn't be the measuring stick because y'all had other impressive wins throughout the entire season. So I get you on that. Take me back to, and I'm glad you spoke on it, take me back to the traveling aspect. Going to Puerto Rico. And like you just said, traveling day. Is that something that was new, not for you, but for the kids? Or was that something you...
It was new for me, too, as a coach. You know what I mean? We wasn't getting on no bus going 10 minutes away.
Right.
Right? You organizing flights, hotels. In our model, we kind of run it more like a college. So I have a director of football operations, Darryl Wheeler. Right? Who kind of handles the logistics stuff.
Right.
So it was a challenge, but it's also the reason I'm telling people you should come to the St. James.
Absolutely.
To have those type of experiences, right? Football took us to Puerto Rico, took us to Orlando, Florida, right? We in the hotel Saturday, and I'm telling the kids, all right, eat breakfast. We're going to City Walk in Orlando, Florida. right? We going over. No, hey man, that's boring. I'm like, you live in Waldorf.
Yeah.
How is City Walk boring? Please tell. Have you ever been there? No, I ain't never been there, but it sounds boring. I said, trust me, it's not boring, right? You're going. Everybody's getting on the bus and going. You live in Waldorf. You got one Wawa. It'll be okay, right? So, just giving the kids that experience, right?
Absolutely.
We're going to Utah. I've never been to Utah.
Me either.
Right? So, I think, like I said, being able to provide that experience and the St. James, my leadership, Kendrick, Craig, Elise, Jeff, supporting that, what else can I ask for? And we get to play the game we love.
Absolutely.
So that's a big part. The traveling part was a big part, right? Logistically, handling all those things. And that's one thing I'm also thankful. I feel like this seat, doing those things, helps prepare you for college.
Absolutely.
Right? So I'm excited about it.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. So looking back at that first season, what would you say was the best experience for you personally?
Best experience for me personally, I would say when we took the field versus Good Counsel and we went into that environment, not because we went there and won, but because everything I knew it took to get to that point, right? To get 80 kids, parents, to believe in what you couldn't even show them it.
Absolutely.
Like you said, that's what people don't understand. I didn't have anything to show. Other people's programs, when they started it, they might not have been good, but there was a program there.
Right. It's a track record.
There was nothing here for me to show these families to get them to come here.
Yeah.
So it was a woo-saw moment for me when at the end of that game, not because we won, right? No diss to Good Counsel. It just what it took to get to that point and hold everything together.
Right. That's dope. So what was the biggest lesson you learned about yourself as a coach during that first season with the St. James?
As a coach, as a play caller, I had to learn coming from public school. All this shit gonna work. All this shit gonna work. I'm like, God, run this.
Yeah.
Right? Now you kind of got to be more college, like stay on track, stay in rhythm, create explosive plays. So it made me better with my offensive coordinator, Chris Davis. And then on the defensive side, right, you didn't just have the best people at a position. Right, so being sound made us sounder. We've always done a good job. We've always had good kids, but this, made me be better as a play caller and supporting my guys in calling plays on both sides of the ball.
Absolutely.
The other part that I added to my armor was, like you said, the organizational piece. Where in public school, the AD kind of doing all that stuff.
I get you.
We're here. It's just me and my ops person, Terrell Wheeler. That's it.
Yeah. Do you feel like it's more of a focus rather than everything, like you said, in public school, they just running everything?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But also with that, if it fall through, it's on me.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
In public school, I can say, the AD did this. The AD did this.
Bingo.
Right?
Bingo.
So that too.
So after having that much success right away, expectations naturally are going to be high. How much pressure is on you, your staff, and the players to make sure you guys live up to those expectations in this upcoming football season?
That's what makes us good coaches. It's always been that way. Even last year, we were trying to be the best team in the country, which is the reason we played them, and nobody else would. So the expectation didn't change, right? It's just more at stake, more opportunities at stake, and like you said, a little bit more consistency and good opponents.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Where last year we played some good teams, but we had some Mercers in there, as well. So expectation is the same. I just think we just have more at stake.
Yeah.
And I feel like outside now, people have more expectation.
Absolutely.
Right? They're like, all right, y'all should be good.
Yeah.
Granted, it's only our second season.
Yeah.
But y'all should be good, right? Like now people are like, man, y'all should be good. Like, but absolutely.
That's kind of like unfair a little bit too, because it's like give us some credit. You know what I'm saying? We building this thing our second season. Y'all already expecting us. So I get it. Let me ask you this. So last year y'all only lost one game. Mm-hmm. Were you guys able to compete for anything like as far as championship or anything like that?
No, let me tell you why. You said it. I chose smoke. So we were a part of a great league, and our great team this year is a part of what was East Coast Prep League.
Okay.
Last year we were a part of it.
Okay.
The playoffs for East Coast Prep League started the week we played St. Francis.
Oh my God. Okay.
So I would have had to drop that game.
Bingo.
And then I could have been in the playoffs with a bunch of teams we already beat, and we probably would have won. And I could have paraded around. I'm the champ.
Yeah.
I'm the champ. But I chose violence.
Yeah.
Babe. Right? And they was like, Coach, you know if y'all don't play, you forfeiting your spot in the playoffs. And I said, I know. We're going after the big fish.
That's dope.
So we had an opportunity. Then this year now, like you said, Gray will do that, and Blue, as long as we handle our business, we'll have an opportunity to participate in the OT7 playoffs.
That's dope. Okay.
All right. Hopefully, like you said, as long as we stay in good standing and all those things.
Okay. So I saw you guys in the spring. I don't know if you want to count that as summer, spring, but I saw you guys taking the players on college visits in the spring, including trips to Maryland, UVA. You also competed in 7-on-7 tournaments at Tennessee, West Virginia, Syracuse, Virginia Tech. I believe you guys won all 4. You can correct me if I'm wrong on that. How important was it for you to give your players those experiences and let them see what the next level could look like for them?
I mean, it mean everything to them, right? And you know, when you take kids to school, right, and we make them wear their khakis and their polo on the bus, no slides, nothing on your head, no Crocs. Outside of football, there's a part of life when you show young people, hey, we at the University of Tennessee. Do you see people walking around with ski masks on, talking about, man, get out, man? Do y'all see that happening?
Not at all.
That's only happening in one person's world. So that part of it is a bigger lesson than the football side. Like, this the real world. Y'all see this, right? These are people at college, walking around, going to class. Right? This was really happening. The other side of that is you don't know how good a kid could be until you show them
100%.
their dreams. Like, I didn't have that opportunity. I know my mom and dad was saying, you're going to go to college, you're going to be good. I'm like, where is that? I've never seen it.
Yeah.
I've never seen it, right? You show that to some young people, that's going to trigger something in them, right?
Absolutely.
Which is important. And then another big thing for us, we stay overnight because when you're in this type of environment, you got to create that brotherhood and camaraderie.
Absolutely.
So that's why a lot of times we stay overnight. So we went to the University of Tennessee. Can you imagine 73 people in one Airbnb?
Phew. Yeah, that's crazy.
So, but you know, that's important for our team coming together every year. And then the other side of it, like you said, that's just what we do.
Yeah.
We're going to take our kids, and guess what? We didn't take the kids that had offers.
Yeah.
We took everybody on our roster. Let's go. Because I told you, to me, everybody deserves the same experience.
No, really.
And that's important to us. We took everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone on our team that wanted to go, we took them on visits, college camps, outside of the 60 schools that came here to watch them work out. So that's been big to me. Ever since I was at Freedom, we took kids to school, even at Colonial Forge.
Yeah.
I remember taking Trey and Pete Reed all the way to Pittsburgh, you know what I mean, for camps and stuff. So
that's dope. And that's one thing I noticed too, doing my due diligence, you always talk about the kids. How can I help the kids? Showing the kids this. How can I put them in the best position to succeed or go to the next level? And I think that's big because like you said, when I was growing up, I never remember or heard of schools taking kids and putting them on these college campuses and just letting them get that experience. Because like you said, if I don't see something, I don't believe I can achieve it for a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? So that's dope. Which one would you say was your personal favorite going to go check out? Because y'all went to a bunch.
I'm going to say experience-wise this year, what Coach Fran Brown and Coach Dre Cates got going on at Syracuse is top shelf. This is also a relationship-based business. So even notice, I went to places that we got relationship.
Yeah.
Coach Poindexter at Tennessee, I don't care where you at. we're going to go see him because he's always came and saw us. UVA, we got kids there. We got kids at Tech, right? We got kids at Syracuse. So we got kids at Maryland, right? So I'm going to go where we got relationships with people, where our kids are thriving no matter what, right? Absolutely. And I feel like when you do that, you pay it forward. Coaches appreciate that. So that's kind of how we selected them.
Yeah.
We try to go places where we got relationship or our kids are already at. But this year, Syracuse, what they've built up there in a short amount of time is second to none.
Yeah. So speak on 7-on-7. Was this y'all first year competing in any 7-on-7s?
Yeah, well, no. So shout out Playmakers Elite, right? Okay. We always do 7-on-7 as playmakers.
Okay.
I tell all our kids, you should be playing.
Yeah.
Right? But truthfully, with Playmakers, we have 5 teams. And we got kids from everybody's schools.
Yeah.
But we keep all of our kids on one team. And that was instrumental for us. We've been playing 7-on-7 since February on the All-Star circuit.
Okay.
Going to Myrtle Beach, all those places. So by the time we got to the college ones,
we already
steam ahead. I've been in public school. You just started practicing for this. I know you have. Like, you ain't been out there.
Yeah.
We done played in 5-6 tournaments.
Yeah, we already rolling.
So that's why we win these 4 for 4 them
that's
things.
Dope. That's
right?
dope.
We got them all.
I heard you say like Wendy's.
Yep. So not only are we talented, but now we prepared.
Yeah.
Shoot. Syracuse though, they saw we've been winning. They threw a little monkey wrench in there when we played them.
Okay.
They had all their commits on the team, and they thought that was going to slow us down, but we took care of business too.
Belt. Yeah. So we spoke on St. Francis. I heard you talk about Coach Masai. We talked off camera. You said those your guys up there. So recently, I interviewed some coaches from up St. Francis. Shout out J-Dub, K-Dog, Crack. You said you checked it out. I asked them about people saying St. James is starting to catch up to them as one of the powerhouse programs in our area. They had some really good things to say about you guys, especially that St. James don't be ducking. They don't duck. Do you believe St. James can eventually become not only the best team in Virginia, but one of the best programs in the entire DMV and this region?
Absolutely. We plan on doing that this year, right? And we can pay our respect to St. Francis. They're at the top. Yeah. Right? But, unlike everybody else, every year I'm willing to find out if we that, right? And try to bring them down. So, absolutely. We're going to play them every year as long as, like you said, Masai keep, want to do that, which I know he will. Yeah. But absolutely, they're at the top, but we plan on being the best team in this area. And right now, with them comes in the country, right? So we can get 2 titles at once, right? It's like boxing. We can get 2 titles from you. Absolutely. Of course, we're going to come see you, right? So they didn't, they're the best team here, right? Should be. They're the best team in the country because of what they did on the field. Absolutely. All right, now we got to try to get both belts right. Yeah. That's it. But we definitely coming to get both belts, right? Yeah. That's the plan every year.
Do you like trying to create in the area like a rivalry? Because it seems like to me, and it's just from the outside looking in, nobody wants to play y'all two. So y'all too willing to play each other, but I mean, you have other schools, but it's like nobody want to play y'all. So is this a rivalry that we can see slowly create
year
itself?
And they right. We got to make it into a rivalry. Yeah, they got us last year. We have to make it into that, right? But we plan on it. So everyone else, again, for our area, I don't know why we all wouldn't play once a year, even if it's for monetary reasons.
I would love it.
If we all came together and you had a stadium and St. Francis played, DeMatha and St. James played, St. John's at one location, come on. We made it a DMV day and you brought bands out. What are we talking about here?
Can't beat it.
Right? So again, for me, we're going to play the best every year, no matter what. St. Francis, Good Counsel, DeMatha, Gonzaga, whoever want to play, we're going to play. Ain't no secret animosity. We don't have no beef, right? We get it. Everybody is recruiting and trying to get kids, but that's no different than the college level.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Alabama don't not play Auburn because we both are recruiting the same kid. Like, I feel like people get, this is only my second year in this business. And I feel like they get too emotionally tied to where kids go. When a kid come here, I want them to come to St. James, St. Francis, I know they go to LSA, like, they going to visit all three of us.
Absolutely, 100%.
Right? LSA, you throw them in that mix too, right?
That's how
they building it too. But why does that mean we can't play?
Yeah.
Just because a kid chose DeMatha over St. James or Gonzaga over St. Francis or whatever the combination, we still can play.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what every college in America does. They all recruiting the same kids.
Yeah.
And they all still play each other. So that's it in a nutshell for me.
No, I mean, that makes absolute sense. I mean, you can't be, if we both going after the same kid and he so happens to pick my school, that don't mean we still can go out there and get it in on the field, but you know how things go. But I'm saying it for myself. I would love for that to happen in the future, to see all the best teams from our area play each other, you know, like you said, create a DMV day or whatever the case may be. But I think that would just be dope for the area, because I tell people all the time, I don't think there's no other state area that got better sports than the DMV. That's me.
Because we're good. I tell people, we're good in everything here. Football, basketball. Look at the volleyball programs here.
Absolutely.
They're some of the best in the country. Everyone, not this school, this area, period. Look at all the cross teams.
Absolutely.
In the areas. Like, we're good in everything. Where other areas, like North Carolina is really good in basketball in pockets, or New York, right? We're good in everything. Everything in the DMV. But, you know, I think that's how it should be. And like this, like I called, you know, Messiah, I'm like, oh, you dirty. Because a kid was here with me on the visit, and I feel like I killed the visit. Then he went there, I said, right? It's like me calling him like, man, we're not playing now. You got the kid I just tried. I just had him here Sunday, and you dropped the commitment joint Tuesday, right? Like, why would I be like, we're not playing now? You took my kid.
Yeah,
like, what that look like?
I get what you said.
So anyway, all love.
That's dope. So we talked. You touched on it a little earlier, but with success also comes, you know, criticism. You get a lot of love, but obviously there are people who have things to say about you, whether it's criticism about recruiting players from the outside of the area, accusations. I've seen a lot. People like to talk about poaching, or even the way things ended for you at Hayfield. Do those kind of things ever bother you? Or have you gotten to a point where it's just water under the bridge and you keep it pushing forward?
Those things didn't bother me from a standpoint because, like we talked about, I'm doing right by kids. Yeah. Some people don't understand that. Yeah. And that's okay. If that's your, you know, I can poach who I want now, here, right? But if you were overly concerned about the Hayfield thing, it wasn't that I poach kids, that they follow me. Right. Again, I can't make nobody's family move or do anything. People made a decision on their own. But like I tell people, you never had a coach to where you a dad and you calling the coach, hey, it's 1:30 in the morning, he ain't here. Can you do something? Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna go get him, right? So if I leave and that family say, oh, ain't no way. It has nothing to do with football, it's everything else, right? So everybody not gonna understand that. And you know this, if you do stuff for people out of love, you can't explain that to everyone because you did it from here. Yeah. So sometimes that leaves you open for criticism. Yeah. Now, if I would have went through all that situation and been talking about all the things I did for families, which is the reason why they want to be wherever I am and willing to move, people be looking at me crazy. You can't, you know, that's the thing I love about this seat. You can't do that. If you do stuff with people, you got to take it with you. Absolutely. Right? Because that make you phony. If the first time I get some type of adversity, now I'm screaming, well, I did this for this person. I did this for this person. Or you leaving me? Why you leaving my school? Yeah. I did this for you, right? At the point that we did it, whatever I had to do to be there for that young person, I did it out of love, right? So that's where it should stay, right? Yeah. And that's it. So it was a lose-lose situation when you can't explain yourself. Because if I explain myself, I look crazy. Yeah. You know what I mean? But that's water under the bridge in a good way. And like I tell people, it's a bigger dynamic, right? In Northern Virginia, you gotta remember, I don't know at the time, there's only been 2 African-American coaches to win state championships. Absolutely. And one of them they did a movie on, Remember the Titans. The other one is me. Now, think about that right now. Mirror those 2 situations. Yeah. And what was taking place, right? And it's the reason, like, a big-time movie producer has reached out to me about doing a potential movie because they said it looked like the same thing. Absolutely. 20 years later. Yeah. So, and remember, they're also talking about a place where they've only had 2 African-American ADs, I think, in one of the largest school districts in the state.
Yeah.
Right? So, it's a lot of undertone, but I'm okay with it. Like, it's fine. It was great. I tell people, Hayfield's a great place. I love my time there. I still live in that area. Yeah. My daughter plays there, basketball.
Absolutely.
It was a great place to me. Anything else was outside noise. And, people, like you said, upset about, like I said, it's only 2.
Yeah, it's only 2.
There's only one that got back-to-back.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
They can't erase that.
Right? This man got a whole movie.
Yeah.
He only won 1 time.
They can't erase that.
I got 2.
Exactly.
All right, so it is what it is.
Yeah, and I respect that. And like I said, it's people always like to talk from the outside looking in, but like you said, nobody knows the things that you did for those kids behind the scenes that made them want to come where you were at. So I understand it wholeheartedly. And one thing I can say, everything that I've watched from you, I've never heard you speak bad about it, never heard you, nothing. It's always positive, positive, positive. So, like you said, they can't rewrite history.
Nope. And one of the biggest things from that, there was kids that came that weren't allowed to play, and they never left.
Yeah.
They stayed there. Knowing they couldn't play. Why? Again, it had nothing to do with football from the beginning. Yeah. So it's all love.
Shout out, yeah, absolutely. So going into your second full season, what are some of your goals you've set for yourself, your staff, and this team?
Again, I want to continue to level up our program. So it was big on the support staff side. With Coach Wheeler, we added, young lady, Ms. Bryant, to help with logistics stuff, being more organized, stuff like that. Coaching staff has been, we leveling up some of our scouting stuff. Again, just trying to raise our game to the next level as well. And again, this year we want to win every game, right? Every game we have, we want to be better than last year. We also want to make sure that our great team wins every game as well, and the great team gets all the same opportunities as the blue. But we striving, strivers, we striving to be great. We're not just doing this to say, well, look, we want to get 8 games again, right? We want to beat them all.
Absolutely. And one thing I got to let you talk about this on here, because this was something that I felt was dope. Talk to us about the spring eval. Getting those coaches to come here, check out your kids, check out a practice. I heard you say that's where some of your kids got their offers
all of them
from. So talk about that experience, what all went into that, and what was your thought process in creating that?
Well, you learn being in public school, coaches come in. All you can do is get the kids out of class, shake hands, and every coach going to tell your kids, come to camp. And we're going to look at you, talk to you at camp, evaluate you. But a kid and his family, his mom, can't go to every camp.
Absolutely.
Right? Like, you got to think, let's say just average, a camp costs $40. Hotel room costs $100 for the night. Gas, another $100 down the back. Right? You're asking people to spend $300 a weekend to get to these camps. Yeah. So, one, we're going to take you to 6. You already named them. Right? Our parents don't got to go to those schools. We took you. Then college eval, right? You bring 61 schools here over a course of 9 days to watch the kids work out, right? That's what it's about, right? And you not only do you treat the kids well, treat the coaches well. We feed them, we have a hospitality suite for them, all that stuff, right? I think that was instrumental. Other thing, I don't gatekeep here, right? So I don't care who on my coaching staff told the coaches to come. It's not like I'm like, oh, I need to talk to them.
Yeah.
I don't care. Tell them.
Get here.
Get here. I don't care who contacted them. So that's another thing. Like I keep my ego out of it. So my coaches outside of me also have a lot of connections, and that's the best way to do it.
Absolutely.
The more people, the better. So it was amazing, right? Yeah. And we got to do spring ball practice in front of them. Like I said, over 9 days, every Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It was amazing, right? It was coaches everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere.
Yeah, I had to make sure I let you talk about that because I heard you say that. I said, man, 61 college coaches and coming through one spot. And that for a parent, what more can you ask for? Somebody giving my kid a chance to achieve their dreams and make it to the next level. I don't think there's no more you can ask for from that.
And like you said, it wasn't just P4 school. It's Ivy League, D2, D3, HBCU, everybody, right? It's not like we just No, only the kids. Everybody not gonna go D1.
Absolutely.
So everybody here to see, everybody can find a home, right? And start to make those connections.
Absolutely. So last one I got for you. What is your why? Why do you get up every morning and do what you do? What motivates you and pushes you to be the best version of yourself every day?
Personally, my why is definitely my family and like you said, my kids and my immediate family. I know everybody is looking at me as the example and relying on me. And it's funny you said this, my why, I tell the kids it's them, right? It's every decision I make is why I'm not out putting myself at risk and jeopardy, hanging out, because I know at 6 a.m. there's gonna be 80 kids in there that's looking for Coach O to lead them.
Absolutely.
On top of those 80 is another 250 grassroots kids that if something happened to me, who gonna get the referees for the Little League game? Who gonna make sure the field there? So that's my why every day. Yeah. Like, I get to wake up every day and do what I love for my family.
Yeah.
But my why is the kids. Like, that's it. That's it. I know I gotta be there for them. I'm responsible to them. You know, people tease me all the time, like, you got a scat pack and you be driving slow. I said, if something happened to me, who gonna be here for y'all on Monday morning? Y'all want me to go 1:30, and then what's gonna happen if I'm not here because I got locked up and speeding, or I crashed into the side of the wall? So every day I wake up, my why, obviously, my family, my kids that's relying on me, and then all the kids that's playing for me and a part of, you know, my organization, from PME to grassroots. They were depending on me.
Yeah.
I gotta be here to make sure stuff happens for all the young people.
Absolutely, man. That's dope. That's dope. All right, Coach. So look, you see me, right?
Yep.
In my heyday, not right now. I'm getting in my heyday. If I'm on your team, can you get me an offer and where you playing me at?
All right. So playing you
just by looking at me, where you? I'm seeing him. I'm coming in. I'm fret. Where you put me at, and what can you get me? What can you help me with?
Safety or running back?
Okay.
I'm gonna try you at both. Offer wise, right? I can get you any offer, right? But like I tell families, I can make a couple of calls and say, offer this kid just because, right? I want to make you smile, make your parents smile. But like I tell people, that can hurt you.
Yeah.
Because if I call my friend at South Carolina and say, offer you, right? And he say, Coach, it's not committable. I'm just doing it because you asking me, what is Nova State going to think?
Yeah.
That you got too big an offer for them. What is Howard going to think?
Oh, no, that's real.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you see this happen, and kids posted all these offers, and they don't end up going to those schools.
Oh, okay. Now that makes sense. Okay.
So that's why I don't play that game, because if it don't turn out that way, that's going to hurt you.
That makes sense.
But I can get you an offer, but you don't want that. Right, you want me to get you where you earn it, right?
Absolutely.
So I try to stay away from that business.
Yeah, I'm glad you said safety or running back. That's for everybody who said, "Oh man, they'll put you on the offensive line."
Nah,
no offensive line. So I appreciate that.
He don't got offensive line swag.
See,
you trying to judge him like they did me based on my body now, but his swag ain't saying offensive line.
Absolutely, man. Coach Darryl Overton, man, I just want to tell you, man, I appreciate you for taking this opportunity to come on my platform, man. You doing a hell of a job at the St. James. I'm definitely going to be at some of the games this year. St. Francis for sure.
Come on.
Mount Zion, a bunch of them. But, man, I just want to tell you, you're doing a hell of a job, and you got a supporter in me for sure.
And thank you, everybody out there. Everybody, man, like, subscribe, share, support who support your kids, all kids, right? Like, subscribe, share, all my people.
Absolutely, man. And make sure if you out there, if this your first time finding about St. James, you see the man who they got at the helm. You just heard him talk for about an hour, so you know the type of man that he is and what he represent. Come out and support him. Come out and show love. And if you get a chance, come and check out this facility, man. One of the best that I've seen. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in with me. Do not forget to like and share the content, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel. I appreciate y'all. I see y'all next time.